Singapore Airlines has a legacy of excellence, named the world's best airline by Skytrax last year and ranking second this year. Their economy class, rated the third best in the world, also sets high expectations. But can they deliver the same award-winning experience on their smallest aircraft, the 737-800NG, from Singapore to Phuket? Let's find out. Good afternoon from Changi Airport Terminal 2. Today we'll be flying Singapore Airlines to Phuket on a 737 MAX 8, I think. The check-in process today was pretty smooth. We got the self-check-in kiosk and since I already checked in online, it was very fast. But now I think it's time for immigration, and I don't think the lines today are going to be long as there's not a lot of people at the terminal. Immigration was so fast, I got through a splash. There was actually no people waiting for immigration, and of course it's automated lanes, so it took me max 1 minute to get through immigration. I love Singapore immigration, like that will never change. It's always the best. But now I think we're gonna head to the Singapore Airlines lounge, so let's go. Throughout the lounge, there was a good amount of seating, which most was empty, and there was always charging ports at every seat. The seat didn't really vary, it was almost the same for the entire lounge experience. And for the food and drink selection, there was some coffee, some TWGT, which is a highlight of Singapore, some salads and assorted dressings and croutons, some sushi, and also some sandwiches. At this station, we had some chocolate and normal oat milk, fresh milk upon request, and some assorted cereals. There was also sliced bread and some chocolate and vanilla muffins. Here we have the cream of carrot soup, which I think should be a highlight of the lounge as there was quite nice flavor to it. It was light and also quite tasty. And we also have some other assorted dishes, just in case you wanted something different. There was also some dressings at the end if you found the food too bland for your liking. There was also a decent amount of drink selections, including juice boxes, beer, Coke, Schweppes, and also Sprite. There was also a bunch of other assorted alcohols and also some snacks like crisps and mixed nuts. This cha shao bao was also quite nice, and there was also some other assorted dim sums. And here we have the famous Singapore Airlines lounge laksa, which was actually quite nice when I tried it later on. The lounge experience was amazing. Though there was a bit of a limited selection of food, there was plenty of seating and it was pretty private. I'd not say it's the best lounge, it's not the worst, but it's pretty good. Singapore Airline is the world's second best airline and has the third best economy class. It also has the world's fifth best economy catering, fifth best seat, and also the world's best cabin crew. On TripAdvisor, they were rated a 4-star airline with pretty good stats all around. Checking out the customer experience, they were all leaning toward the excellent and very good reviews, which was really positive. Now checking out the only review, Divya said it was a great flight, great service despite the old aircraft, and then proceeded to yap for half a page, so I couldn't even read it out loud because that would take up the whole video time. Just now I checked on Flight Radar. We'll be flying a 737-800, which means it's a NG, which means I think it's an aircraft from Silk Air. So if my calculations are correct, we'll be flying an old retrofitted plane. I really hope we don't. I really wanted to fly that 737 MAX. But now right before boarding, I think I have a window seat today. And let's check out the seat map as well. This is a Singapore Airlines 737-800 NG in its 2-class configuration, with 12 Collins Aerospace MIQ recliner seats for the business class passengers and 150 Collins Pinnacle seats for the economy passengers. The seats have an average 30-inch pitch, a 17.7-inch seat width, and a 5 degrees recline. The economy cabin is configured in a suite configuration with 2 lavatories at the back of the plane alongside the galley. The lavatory ratio is a whopping 75:1, which sadly is the case on most airlines that operate these smaller aircraft such as the 737s, A320s, and new Comac C919s. But now, without further ado, let's board this aircraft. It's boarding time. It's already to gate closing, so we're really late. The butt cushion was pretty nicely padded, but the back cushion was a bit more stiff, and the head cushion was adjustable, and it was pretty soft. Now the legroom on this flight was not that nice considering I'm a pretty short person, but there was some room to store the bag and extend our legs. The seat also had recline and the old-fashioned radio with the headphone jack at the side of the armrest. And there was also the safety guide, IFE guide, and the magazine. The tray table had a good amount of pull-out. It was pretty standard, but it was a bit dirty, and there was a bunch of stains on it. But I think finally we pushed back from our gate and begun our approach to Phuket. And this came with the hot meal, the fruit salad, the bread, and the water. Checking out the hot meal I got today, I chose the chicken pasta, which wasn't quite nice, as the pasta was a bit undercooked, which was a bit disappointing, as this was supposed to be meal service from one of the best economy classes. The headroom was average, wash basin average, amenities average, toilet seat average, and the floor was below average. Overall score, slightly below average. That's disappointing. Now giving my final rating of this Singapore Airlines flight, I would like to say the seat was pretty nice for a 737 and it was certainly okay for a luxurious airline. The toilet though was on the nastier side. It was really dirty. The floor was like just not nice, even though I'm not touching it, but it just ruins the aesthetics. The meal was a bonus as it was a short 2-hour flight, but it wasn't that nice. Though it's a free meal and then that's making my money's worth. It had an older aircraft and it had a pretty dirty cabin for a premium airline. Like, of course we can't compare Singapore Airlines to other airlines like AirAsia and Jetstar, but I think that would be it for today's flight. We begin our descent into Phuket, which I'm gonna be so excited for, as I'll be spending the next 4 days in Phuket before flying Jetstar back to Singapore. And that was flying Singapore Airlines 737-800 NG from Singapore to Phuket. I'm gonna spend the next few days in Phuket and I might even post a few vlogs. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.